Ryan, what are your thoughts after today's game?
Devastated, to be honest. Thought the guys were outstanding for, I was about to say 91 minutes. I thought they were outstanding for 95, but it just so happens we get to the 91st minute, and whether the decision's right or wrong, they get thrown down in the deep end of the pitch and they score. You know, it's a sucker blow for the guys. Thought to a man we defended excellently. And we carried a real threat for the first 60-65 minutes. Arguably could have had 2 penalties from our side of the camp. It's 2 Stonewall penalties. I think the referee's gotten the decision wrong both times. And certainly in the first half we could have had 2 goals more than we did. 2 really good chances. So we're really delighted with our counter-attack play. We've carried a threat against a team that had, very favourable conditions today. Pitch is immaculate. It's super slick and wet. Pretty much everyone in our squad was working this morning, so it's not an ideal situation to come into, but it's a situation we've come into and we've strived in.
We created quite a few chances in that first half. Were you pleased with the chances created?
Yeah, I thought it was part of the tactic to be quite narrow and give up the wide parts of the pitches, so long as we were strong in both boxes. Our 2-10s, when they were inverted, they played the role very well. They carried a threat, they looked after the ball at times, and you're going to have to pick your moments against a team as good as Motherwell and fit and sharp as they are. And I thought we picked our moments really well. There was one on the edge of the box with Pete and Cammy. They were really clever, intricate. Max has a great chance. And even the chances that they don't ultimately end up in a shot on target, but they maybe end up in a corner. We have 2 or 3 really good moments, and I thought the 45th minute and the 46th minute, each side of half time, we should have had a penalty. I think there were penalties, especially the first one on Caleb. But you have to take the look at the draw at times. We weren't on that right side today, and it doesn't take any credit away from generally how good we were tactically and defensively today.
Because the second half we defended extremely well against pretty much one-way performance from Motherwell.
Yeah.
And we did really, really well.
I mean, the last 30 minutes is one-way traffic, but it's going to be like they're 15-20 plus sessions ahead of us. They're full time. They've probably had a summer training camp. Some of our guys haven't even played 90 minutes yet, and been working this morning. So that is the reality that we face. I was speaking to the manager before the game, and he asked us if we're full time, and we're part time and train once together. That's the situation we face. Logistically it's tough, and the guys' priorities are elsewhere. So to perform the way we did today is admirable. Defensively, tactically, outstanding. Some real men performances there. Caleb looked a completely different player today to what he showed on Saturday. Flynn came in, gave us absolutely everything, was outstanding. Jason's physicality always helps us, and the middle 3 stuck to their guns, they followed the runners, they were good when they needed to be, and we carried the threat going forward. So really, really good performance, just disappointed at the end.
Is there a few weary legs in there?
There will be. Yeah, there will be. We tried to freshen it up at 60, we tried to freshen it up at 72, 73 minutes. We did that, the subs had an impact, they done the work, but obviously we lose a bit of, not quality as such, but the team starts to fatigue towards the end, so we don't have that moment to carry the threat on the counter as much. Because if they've got us camped in, yeah, we could have maybe been a wee bit braver or cleaner with the ball at the times we did have it, but it wasn't to be, and it doesn't take away from a really strong performance.
You mentioned Flynn there. He's had a full pre-season and he's had 2 games in the cup. What's the latest with him?
Yeah, I mean, right now we absolutely need him. Flynn knows how much we respect him. We want him here. We'll look to sort something hopefully in the next 7 to 10 days. We need to get an idea. Obviously we've had things lingering over our head with Kieran Shank's situation. We still need a centre half. We want to look at a number of options in that position. But Flynn's somebody that doesn't need to show us his qualities. Flynn comes and uses quality and class. He's such a good boy. He's young, he'll develop, and he knows the situation. He knows the situation at the face. So look, right now we're really lucky to have him. I think he's been at one or 2 other clubs, but he's made it clear that Peterhead is a strong option for him, and it's an option that we want to give him, but we just need time on that.
And finally, looking ahead to Saturday, the games come thick and fast, don't they? time of the season. What sort of challenge do you think Clyde will pose to us?
A difficult challenge, but it's one that we're, the 4 games we're probably most looking forward. Obviously, this is a glamour tie, and Morton was extremely difficult full time, and they were far better than we thought they were going to be. But the 2 teams, Stenhousemuir and Clyde, that's where we're judged. Might need to rotate and freshen a few legs. Some guys have played a lot of minutes Saturday and tonight. They'll be tired. We'll get a look at some other options. It'll be difficult for us to qualify. I don't even know if it can now qualify. So we'll look at freshening things up and keeping things competitive. But the next 2 games are the ones that we look at on paper, and we measure our team and how far we've came. And Stenhousemuir obviously being in our league away from home, that'll be a good one the following Saturday. So we now get a week-to-week break, and it'll be good for us.
Okay, great, thank you.
Cheers.